Okay, hello everyone and welcome to Friday's Fight Night. I am your host for this Randomised Gaming Fight Night, as always, Random Gamer Riven, and with me is Random Gamer
Dragoon.
Fantastic, and as always we'll be fighting away on a classic brawler title. So today's title is, well, yeah, okay, maybe not quite classic.
Not always classic.
We're a retro gaming fighting brawler, at least most of the time. So tonight's title is Cyber Brawl / Cosmic Carnage. We're going to be fighting away on, and it's one of those interesting 32X games. Probably one of the better fighters on the system, though. I know the 32X didn't have many games, but as a competent Mega Drive fighter, because when you look at games like Eternal Champion, this is vastly better. So just to confirm the details, this was published by Sega. It was released in 1995, and it was developed by couple of companies called Almanic and Alu. I think it was basically a work for hire job. They'd previously done Maze Fighter, which is quite an interesting scrolling sort of beat 'em up on the Mega Drive, which actually had like one-on-one sections and scrolling beat 'em up sections, which should really cover. This actually has some really nice sprite scrolling stuff, and depending which version you play, you can actually change it by holding down certain buttons to revert to the Japanese and the North American Western version. Not there's really much different. They basically made the characters a bit human. So without further ado, I'm going to be player one, so I'll be on the left and Dragoon will be on the right. I think Dragoon we actually have... So I'm going to have the US menu and you'll have the nice shiny...
Japanese menu.
Yeah. And I'll say hi to Naiko. I should just say hi to Naiko. Naiko, who's been on most of the streams this week. Thanks for joining us again. Much appreciated. So this is an interesting title with lots of sprite scaling. At least the collision works, but I don't think it's necessarily the best fighter. We have got 6-button joypads. This is definitely a game you want 6-button joypads. I'm about to show you the options. So difficulty, time up, controller config. Just let me confirm the control. Ooh, doesn't like start. Controller configuration. So normal is X, fierce is A. Ooh, that's a bit weird. Normal is Y.
Changed that actually.
Yeah. Normal you want as probably A, fierce is X. I'm gonna go for Mortal Kombat. B. What? Actually, yeah. Y, B. Oh, you're doing Street. Actually, yeah, you're doing Street Fighter. Yeah, I'll do that as well. And provoke 1Z and provoke 2. So you got two provoke buttons. This has some really impressive scaling, Cyber Brawl. The main change, weirdly, is Cyber Brawl has human heads on, with some slightly weird human heads on a couple of the characters, whereas Cosmic Carnage makes them totally alien. I kind of prefer Cosmic Carnage in that respect. I think it's a bit of an odd change, to be honest. I think a couple of characters are slightly different. You don't get to pick the armor style in this as well.
C is back.
Yeah, pick characters with A, I think. There's some odd...
Start. So you can select a character. And you can change the armor sets.
Yeah, certain characters you can change the armor, so you can go for heavy armor. I think they changed the name. One of the characters is actually called Naruto in this. Silik. I think you've got Zealand. Yeah, so they are actually renamed to some of the characters. I'm Talmac. I think I did a playthrough. We have previously covered this title on the channel, but we haven't. So light, heavy, light, kick, heavy. Yep, we are all good. How's it go? Well, at least the collision is fairly... I mean, this game does have a bit of slowdown, that I will say. But this is the first time we covered it with an open source scan converter. The previous two videos we did a while back, I did do playthroughs on it. One...
Oh boy, this is going to be a long out.
It's better than some of the others. Some of the characters are quite good, I think. So this guy was actually... Tarmac was actually quite good. You have got armor break, so there's quite a lot of mechanics in this one. But there is some really bad slowdown. As you see there, some impressive stuff with the sprites. They really went to town on the sprites and like breakable armor and stuff, but they just forgot to. I think this game. It's more, I'd say, it's the slowdown that plays it. The whole game feels like it's running in treacle. The music's quite good though, so it's... I should say to you guys watching, I will be streaming Mega Drive titles next week, so if you do have suggestions, let me know for anything you'd like for us to look at, and I will see what we've got. We largely have PAL games. We have a small selection of Japanese and a few US titles, so we have a fairly large PAL selection. But if there's any games that don't work, I'm going to only be streaming the NTSC Mega Drive. We do have some Mega CD games, but again, it'll be PAL. And at the minute, I've only got the NTSC Mega Drive out, so we'll only be doing titles that work on the NTSC Mega Drive with Japanese unit. So if you've got a game, then say, oh yeah, we've got the PAL version. Yeah, I mean, his Talmix, I think they literally renamed all the characters weirdly in this. There are like a few sort of bloodthirsty finishers as well, but mainly as you finish with a certain move and it will blow their heads off or something with a lashing of blood. I'm reminded of Killer Instinct a bit with this, but this is just not as good as Killer Instinct. I remember in doing the single player, I think I played as Talmix and did that. Oh, that's right, his name's Talmix in the manual, but he's called Bolts in the Japanese because they did change all the names weirdly. So I will be looking at, in the weekend, I will be looking at a couple of other games. I think I'm going to do a video on the Mega Drive version of Jurassic Park The Lost World, which is quite an interesting title for a 1997 Mega Drive game that was incredibly late. And also the rather impressive version of Doom on the 32X that I have to say was probably better than the infamous Saturn's version. Talmix's not too bad a character actually. There are some really interesting stages in this, but a couple of the stages just destroy the frame rate. There's one, oh there I go. Do. Just literally do like a normal move at the end, that's all you gotta do. Sadly there aren't any bosses. It's not gonna let me change character. We can back out after every match actually with that. You can press the C, so... Oh yeah, we just back out and then... Naga's quite... Oh yeah, you're playing this... She's called They literally change all the names for no clear reason. Yeah, unlike SNK, which I think took a bit more of a loader, wasn't it, in that loading time. Naga's got some real range on her as well. I think as a 32X game, the sprite background works really, really lovely, so... It's actually right, oh really? In one with the slowdown, I think there is a sort of Ken and Ryu character in this, so that's the human one. I mean, we can swap versions. Should I bring up the version swap sheet as well? Because that's quite funny just to see the differences. We can literally show you the differences because the cartridge includes both the North American and the Japanese version on all versions of the game. You can basically, if you bring up a cheat, Cyber Brawl. Code, yeah, I mean that's the thing. Her character, she looks really impressive. I mean, the collision and stuff isn't too bad. The hit detections, I mean, this is a lot better than Eternal Champs. I had a brief go on Eternal Champs, and that is horrible. So hold B, X, and Z. I think hold X, Y, Z.
Before back out, I thought I pressed B or C before.
Okay, we'll just do it that way. Just let me say, yeah, we'll just back out after every fight. And pick the different characters. So yeah, one character here looks a bit like a xenomorph. This guy here is basically your Ken Ryu character. Yeah, I did. So there's a weird armor selection where certain characters you can pick your armor. You can go for heavy mode
And different moves as well.
Yeah. Cool, no worries. We're always a few minutes starting. So, but hi Nico, thanks for joining the stream. Deciding to go for heavy armor. You do get a whole set of moves with this guy, so I'm going to go for that setup. Yeah, you can. This is a weird game where if you hold, so I think X, Y, Z, and B. I think I've seen a couple of things. Just hold tight.
This guy's twice as fast.
Yeah, he was really good finisher. Because weirdly they changed the name. We have previously covered this on the channel before. If you want to see a full long play after this, it's a weird game, Cyber Brawl Cosmic Carnage, but it's not terrible. It's got some great visual effects, but there are a couple of stages that literally just absolutely slow the game down. I think it's the girl stage. So this guy is basically the Ken Ryu character. If I can get the fireball move to work, because I picked the normal. I didn't pick the light armor, so yeah. And you also strip. You see there, I'm sort of half naked at this point because he stripped off my armor. So yeah, I'm Jake, who in the American version becomes a totally lizard creature. Weirdly, they changed the heads. Got the dragon punch. Don't think I can do the energy blast. Seals it. Yeah, your guy, he's got the range, and I mean the difference in character bounties. This reminds me a little of there's one on the Sega system, is it Dark Edge, that used zooming? Ernest Evans. Yeah, that's on the Mega CD, isn't it? I've not actually played that one. I have to admit, I've not played Ernest Evans, but I know the title you're talking about. It's interesting the fact that these couple of these characters have like multiple modes, so you can literally. There we go, another Mortal Kombat style finisher. So yeah. I mean, the scale, there's really impressive scaling, but it's just frame rate. Oh yeah, you can't change character. Yeah, it's a weird thing we need to have to quickly deselect. So I think her stage, I'm not sure whether it's picking based on the character the stages. It might be player 2. I'm just going to stick with her default arm. She has a really fantastic stage that's zooming in the background. If we get her stage, yeah, I think it's you. If you play as her, we see her stage. It looks phenomenal, but you have never seen so much slowdown in a match. But there's lots of scaling in the sprites, which is, for a fighting game, is pretty impressive. But yeah, I mean, it's not. More when zoomed, yeah, it's the amount of slowdown's ridiculous. In fact, if we show you her stage, you will watch the fights turn into what I'd describe as slow motion mode. It's a really nice stage, but it's literally. She's got like the, she is the Chung Li. I think I can literally trap you in the corner with her moveset. I remember her, she's a really
doing the quarter and half circle is very
I'm trying not to get all my armour knocked off in this fight.
It's stained in blood.
No, I don't think it's the... Oh, was that in the intro?
No, when I hit you, your face was then stained in blood. I guess.
While in midair, press B. Then she's got a midair booster, I can't be right.
Yeah, this is. You're wondering why. Trying to pull off some of these moves and then. Oh, I got you there.
Managed to break out, yeah. Yeah, I think they sort of removed the human people from the... Well, we can change modes because of how this works. We can literally change characters. Just B to go back. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm guessing they didn't like the idea
of humans having their heads blown off. So yeah, that's Naruto. It's called Naruto. This was weird how they changed a load of the names in the Japanese version to the Western version. It's doing it in the roster. Yeah, I would describe him as, yeah, you were perfectly right there. And he's called Carl as well, Silver Surfer. So. And this guy's literally called Naruto, although I should add he was called Naruto. The Naruto manga was not for 4 years after this, so the very first Naruto story was in '99, so... Is that a throw? That is a double throw. And the throw's quite... The animation for the throw is quite good. There we go, drop kick.
I believe the moves are per suit you use as well.
Yeah, they are, so whichever version.
Yeah, you have to do both.
There seems to be only... Are they missing a fighter in the North American version? No, his moves are literally missing from the manual, I just noticed. Oh, it must be Tyra. Okay, I'm good. The problem is the names in North American, yeah. The weird bases. Destroy... Carl the Second Galacticus Destroyer of Worlds, yeah. He heralds the coming of the year, and he does literally look like Silver Surfer in an armoured suit. Just one of his.
If you lose the ability to do the special moves, you lose the armor as well.
Yeah, I think you did lose some of them. At some point I think we should swap to the American version during the stream for a bit of fun. Just to show the differences in the weird... There's a load of name changes, so I highly recommend you pick her Dragoon so we can show her stage. Because I think it's leading on you picking the stage, so let's absolutely destroy the frame rate now.
Nothing sexist about changing the colour to pink in the character.
Well, it's stereotypical, so. It's picked me. It's time to pick me. I think we should both pick the right. Yeah, that suit's actually quite powerful. Yeah, you got quite a nice little combo there. Yeah, that suit is actually quite nasty, that one. So that's her whip rush. Oh, she's also got this.
Oh, that's both. So
yeah, Z and C. Yes, that's my boast, and that's they've all got.
it also means the attack as well.
Oh, she's got a boasting attack.
Yeah. That's
the
boast attack.
So you actually got. I wonder if this boast actually hurts as well when I sweep the tail around. That works in attack. Yeah, so she's got a power boast, which is literally contact your opponent and press any kick. She's got.
Yeah, two kicks together to screen.
It really zooms in as well. I mean, the sprites definitely shows you. It does look a lot like it's been severed in half.
Yeah, I'm guessing with the lessons of war, they weren't too keen on human people
Being blitzed apart. Quite surprising because Sega Japan normally frowned on gory games. It does carry a yellow 18 in. Yeah, let's both play as her so we can actually get her. I think it's her stage is the one. The thing is, because you have all the armor sets, you can sort of experiment. Yeah, literally, she does look a bit like Samus with that. In fact, now that you mention it, I'm almost sure she could be based on Samus, because when you look at her like that, she has a very Samus-y look.
Samus without the mask.
Yeah, without the mask and a slightly sexier version of the Zero suit.
Start.
My confirmed. Apologies.
Oh,
Here we go. Yeah, now this stage is just murders the frame rate, quite literally. Slightly hypnotic as well. I mean, I like the premise of it, is sort of going through. So, knee blast. I've got the knee blast. Heavy armor, pressing punch rapidly. I do that version. Got that really half-circled, nasty lariat spin. Seems to recall that being really good for knocking the opponent. Final boss in the 2D Tails game, really?
All parts destructed, I guess. They kicked up all your
Oh, you had all my armor on. Final, yeah, it's weirdly Tales of Fantasia. The original does have a sort of sci-fi element in the story, so with the fact the main villain is not, there's that whole weirdness. I'm from another planet. She actually generates a fireball by doing that. Yeah, because you've got... I have... Yeah, if you do that, you whip up a fireball and I whip up an electric field, so... But... They both go down at the same time in slow motion. Oh, that was almost frame perfect, those falls. Definitely the frame rate does impact. It's weird though, because I think a lot of the Tales of Fantasia have been made by very different studios. So, because the original Tales of Fantasia was made by Wolf T, who then formed Tri-Ace, because they basically Star Ocean is like a direct sequel to Tales of Fantasia. Does that just knock off all your armor in like one blow? Yeah. So that's at the slightly wackier stage. I think we might have done most of the backgrounds now, but... Okay, we're just taking a brief moment's break, guys. PS2 details, yeah. It's all the tales are a bit weird. Some of the new ones. Tales of Eternia is quite a decent one. I need to play through Tales of Eternia. The original Fantasia is fantastic, but some of the other ones that are not quite as good. Oops, apologies, that's falling off the mic there. We have a weird selection of Tales of Fantasia. Well, the Tales of series has some weird ups and downs. So I think we'll swap to the American version in a sec to show some of the differences, which is quite handy. I do like the fact a couple... There's Eternia Grace, Symphony 2. I think my favourite has to be the original Tales of Fantasia, and probably Symphonia 1 I really enjoyed. And, oh, what's the one on PS3 again? Tales of Vesperia. I think, because they're the sort of high quality value ones. Tales of Destiny is quite good. There's also the sub spin-off games, isn't there? I forget what they're called again. My guy's basically the Ken Rhea, but yeah. Yeah! It seems weird you have two buttons to boast with. Yeah, he's definitely the Ken Ryu of the series. With the Hadouken and the Dragon Punch. Yeah, Bolt, or Telnic as he's known in the US version, is definitely one of the better characters. Jake, so in a sec we'll reset it and actually do the cheat to change. It's a bit weird the fact they sort of want the you knock off all the clothes of the human characters. sort of weird space striptease. Energy bar C then Z. So yeah, a couple of the moves are that's actually a boasting move. You actually use the boasting to do that. Oh, while in mid-air, press. Oh really? I didn't realise that about some of the PSP versions of the Tales games. Not that the only one I actually have is Tales of is it Eternia, which was the one released on PS1, so I assume that doesn't have that problem, although that one has a game-breaking bug in the PSP version, didn't it? I think I've got to find out if my version actually is fixed on the normal version. So Dragoon, if you can do the honours and press the reset button, I should, if I'm correct, if I hold these buttons down, I think we hold XYZ. I have a feeling I need to hold it down for the duration of this cutscene. And it should swap to the North American version. I know it works. I may need to get a Japanese cheat website to just confirm. I think one changes to one and one changes to the other. Yeah, a couple of things XYZ.
Press reset.
Something says, yeah, you hold XY. You'll know if it's worked because the Cosmic Carnage. You can tell via the attract roll. I think there's a few changes. That says XBZ, okay. So one said XYZ, GameFAQs says XBXZ. Ah, wait, the license by Sega stream won't appear till unless we power it off and power it back on. I'm sure you could do it by pressing the reset button, though. Ah, that gave us the Light Years Away and Uncharted Star System. Yes, it's XBZ, so XBZ.
GameFAQs is wrong then.
GameFAQs is wrong, yeah. IGN had it right. Sega Retro's wrong as well. Okay, I'll keep it in mind. I haven't actually put. I have to dig up. I don't think we have the PS1 version of Eternia. I know I've got the PSP version, so. So now we're going to get the slightly altered version. Yeah, how do you actually check for that revision, can I ask? On the disc, is there a specific way to check? Oh, a specific update. Do you know which version it is, out of interest? I've not seen much information. Ah, the update's a particular version of... Yeah, I know what you mean when it says update to blah 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 version of PSP.
And now Jake has gained a strange new alien.
But yeah. Yeah, no, because the PSP always tells you which version of the system update's on the disc. Yeah, right saying the vault bug means certain... I think it actually means it basically makes the game non-progressible or something at a point. Or is a particular spell, if you use it, breaks the game. It's very weird, this whole... The fact you can just change... Although they've got the two censored modes, you can basically press a cheat code and revert it back. I'm not sure if the code to change it to Cosmic Carnage might be slightly different, so it might be X, might be BX, B was it YZ or... No worries, Nico. You don't need to check during the stream. I'll have a quick gander and find out. If not, I think it's obviously going to be a later version. So, but yeah, weirdly they change all the names for everyone in this version, which doesn't make much sense.
Versus Daemon.
Oh, the vault glitch prevents you from progressing. Yeah, I was going to say, it's pretty much a non-prog, because, yeah, I probably should find out if I do have the...
What's called Finisher, he's now called
Daemon. Yeah, I'm called Bolt, and now Talmac. I don't understand the name change. Because the problem with RPGs is a lot of people don't finish them. Yeah, probably grab my PSP and find out what version I've got. I'm hopeful I have a patched version. But the problem is second-hand shops would often not necessarily. I got mine out of a charity shop for like £2 or something. So I have no idea if it's the working version or the utterly broken. I remember using bolts in the playthrough I did. I remember using bolts or Talnic's Gale Wave an awful lot. They probably even changed the names of the moves. It's weird the fact they just changed the characters' names willy-nilly in the North American version. Then the fact you can just change via a cheat code is a little bit.
Single player is weird because your ending is based on how long you
take to win. Yeah, it's quite ruthless. You basically have to beat the game pretty much flawlessly. If you take too long, you don't get out of the ship. In fact, where you get in the sequence depends how long you've taken, so... Yeah, that whip you just did, Dragoon, is what, really potent move. It does look quite nice. Actually, this stage, Finish Demons, or Finishers as he called stage, does remind me a bit of...
Looks like an alien
yeah, it does look like they're clearly inspired by the work of Geiger. You actually have what's it? You get Primal Rage on the 32X. You can get Mortal Kombat 2, Virtua Fighters, and this. I think that's all of them, isn't it? So I study.
Yeah.
Let's pick the Silver Surfer's armor, or Tyra, as he's called. Weirdly, in the manual, he's depicted as some sort of massive cybernetic beast in the North American manual. Any punch? That's weird.
I think you have to do the grabs and then follow up.
Or strangle, grab your opponent, any blaze you hold, then press up quickly. It's not the worst, it's not the worst. You press it away towards it. You've got press up and around and down, and it's
I had trouble doing a lot of this.
yeah, you've got to do that now.
The controls that just don't feel great.
No, they definitely don't. Blaze hold.
This is not a contender for the top 10 best fighting
game.
games of all time. That's
No.
sluggish frame range.
And it might be a contender for one of the better Mega Drive games, like it's really outside Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. So I've got to press up when I do that. Okay, I was pressing up and it does nothing. So press up and press any punch button. Okay, up and punch. Oh, there he goes. Oh, who also does that a shape move like that? The character in another game that does something similar. No, it's another game. No worries, no, Nico. I'm in the same. I think my copy's buried in about a box up top somewhere.
He's got no legs. Yeah, in fact, the Japanese box digs the sinister bolt, or as the sort of main character.
Yeah, the sort of main villain tarmac. Him sort of the character at the back. It actually depicts all the characters, but it feels like it's a game that needed a bit more time in the oven. Literally, Samus has. Yeah, literally, you've got. I mean, each character's about 7 or 8 movesets, so that's quite impressive with all the different armors. Yeah, she looks like her body's on fire now. She's got a flaming head instead of the human head that you saw earlier. 'Cause this is now the North American version. Like she's like a weird fire creature. Ray's been renamed to Xena Land. Again, the frame rate on the stage with the weird sort of zooming through the cosmos. It actually works quite well as an effect, but not so good as see there, she's now totally a creature of fire. But thanks for having a quick check. I'll need to confirm myself what version I've got. I'm hopeful. Knowing my luck, I've probably got a faulty one. So 2.5 or higher. Okay, I'll keep in mind set. Yeah, I think the earlier one's like 1.5 or 1.6 or something. So thanks for the likes, guys. Very much appreciated. As always, if you enjoy our content, please do hit the like button on Randomised Gaming. And if you like our content, also consider subscribing to the channel. Finished a Dead by Daylight stream earlier, so although that wasn't particularly popular, that stream, I don't think the game's that popular. I might move back to Bomberman for the Friday sort of Stadia streams, although they'll finish in November, so Dead by Daylight turns out to be quite a boring game, if I have to be honest. Basically like a horror-based version of hide and seek.
Yeah, one of my co-workers was none too enthralling about it at work.
got that triple click, which is quite nice. Towards, down, up. And then it's a bit random if it works. Towards, down, up. I kind of like, actually... Supposedly I can throw a grenade in heavy armor. Oh yeah, I've lost the core you can get. This guy's moves hasn't been done yet. I don't think this guy is good. Getting throws. Yeah, the collision for the throws is a bit... Oh, there he goes, that's the charge move, the grenade. It says grenade attack. I wouldn't call that a grenade attack. I mean, you've got to get it toward... Yeah, you've got to be quite... You've got to really get the double attacks together, so you've got to get those away and towards attacks with the... Yeah, I think the animations actually, the sprite work in this is definitely one of the better games. Yes, you have to do it up and a punch after you've grabbed them with the half circle. Yeah, half circle and punch. No, quarter circle towards and punch, and then up and punch to follow up. It's certainly an interesting style. The only thing I will say, it looks a bit pixelated when they zoom in, but it's definitely the way you're scaling. I suppose because they probably use something similar in the Tales of games, because you have to move back, because you often get, in a lot of them you have that 2D plane that you're fighting. So yeah, up and punch and you do the shake. Problem is with moves like that, electric attack just all can actually connect with that. His dragon punch is quite mean though, that's quite nasty. Oh, there we go. That dragon punch really is quite nasty. Back out of sec so it doesn't lock us into the characters. Actually, I think its tail spike's got a few more than 4 frames. I think you've got quite a few with the way it's moving around. But generally, yeah, you're right. The sort of static animation is tail. That's definitely got 1, 2. You've got quite a few frames. So it's coming back. Although it could be inverted. They could be inverting the frames. So it's probably only got the down movement. Probably got more than yeah. You probably got quite a few more than you think there. But it does give a very natural look of how the characters breathe in this one. If you guys want to see a long play, we do have 2 long plays on the channel. One was Cosmic. I think I did one as Cosmic Carnage and one as Cyber Brawl. So if you look this up, there will be additional long plays of this game. If we've a load of people on, I don't mind doing a quick single player as well. Just show it off again. Although there's no way I'm going to get the best ending. Nakaira Dungeon X sounds interesting. I've not actually played that on PSP, so if that's one of the best looking 2D games, I'll definitely have a look at that. I think, just trying to think what the best 2D game I've probably seen on the PSP. But yeah, I've not played Narakai Dungeon X on PSP, so I'll definitely look into that. I think Talmac is definitely he's definitely one of the best characters there with that menacing lashings of gore there as you decapitate your foe. Unlike Samurai Showdown 4 last week, we're not locked in playing the same character. Yeah, I think it's ABC start, which means resetting it, and we could have in theory done that, but it would have really slowed down every match. Okay, let's pick the Silver Surfer again. What should I go for? Because you've got some really crazy armour look. So we've got the pink, the blue dragon. Let's go for the blue one. I mean, you've got, it's quite impressive. You've effectively got what? 1, 2. You've got about 6 configs for each character, roughly. Maybe 5. Have got quite a lot of configs, but it's a bit confusing as to which config is which node. Yeah, menu translations are very helpful, but I generally just spend some time. If I just get the Japanese version of stuff, I only got Japanese release, and I usually just spend about an hour or two just figuring out what all the menus do. But certainly translations help. Annoyingly, I had an issue where there was a guide to Far East of Edam, but they provided text for all the menus and then didn't actually translate them as such, so you had no idea what was what. It's alright having the English text, but if you don't say what's what in order, it was like, okay, that's Far East of Edam 0, which is a really, really good game on Super Nintendo. Probably one of the best Famicom games, Super Famicom games. And RPGs, but it is very, very text heavy and stuff. Definitely not one for faint-hearted fans. I do actually need to finish Shining in the Darkness. I've actually started continuing my save file on that. I had a save file that was quite a bit further ahead. But once you get out of that first section, once you get Milo and Pariah, it does get an awful lot easier. I'm at level 15 now. I'm literally just walked one of the dungeon sections and I'm just like, yeah, the difficulty's been complete. It goes from being ridiculously hard to being rather easy relatively quickly. Yeah, it's... Sometimes you do loads of damage, sometimes you need to do next to none. It really just depends on the character and the move as well. It's not... The collision's also a bit... Some moves it seems spot on, some moves it seems a bit hit and miss. So we're at 10:36. Yeah, I'm actually playing 3.0 on the actual cartridge, so well, at some point I might do the fan translation as well, because those type of games, unfortunately, you have to constantly replace the battery on it because it has a timestamp, whereas if you've got a fan translation and the PC, if you've got a PC, copy of it on PC, you don't need to worry when the battery fails. But it's definitely one of the best. It's really impressive as a Super Nintendo game with all the hardware stuff they did on it. Visually, Far East of Eden Zero is definitely the back punch supposed to be got. Mega Cannon. Weird, you they actually use the provocation moves as actual specials as well. So Mega Cannon says if I hold, nope, that's not coming out.
Your arm is broken. That was the one of the charge moves.
Yeah, that's just a Dragon Punch move. That's quite nasty. You can do that constantly, I think. Oh, I can highly recommend Zero. It's really, really good.
Oh, who's going down?
KO. Oh, double KO there. I think that the only Far East of Eden I don't actually have is the first
Bouncing issue. Just do that light attack.
Yeah, some of the attacks. She's got real range, Naga. You can keep me at a distance the whole time. And that airborne attack she's got is quite nasty as well. You can really use it to suppress me. It's definitely not... You can use some really... Literally,
Grab moves.
yeah, you need to get the grab moves, I think, period are
It's difficult getting close.
to actually do the... Yeah, and it's not quite clear when you're getting in close. But yeah, certainly Far East of Eden Zero. I should probably cover Zero before my battery runs out. Zero will definitely appear on the channel, as will yeah, the only one I haven't played is the first one, actually, Far East of Eden. I've got the remake of 2, I've got the third game, but I've never played the original one. I've got the second one. Hi, Sword. Hi, Scorpion. Scorpion. Thanks there. Yeah, we're actually playing on a Japanese unit. So the first half of this stream was Cyber Brawl, and we've changed it to Cosmic Carnage for the second half to show the differences. So if you go back. We're actually showing so the first half hour of the stream's on the Cyber Brawl. So thanks for that. Is hold X, B and Z. Yeah, we've a couple of the cheat sites. We had to try it a few times because a couple of the cheat sites had it wrong. But yeah, we covered the human stuff at the start, and we've now swapped it for the second half of the stream as the fight side will be. I'll flip it back. If I do a quick run, I will probably do a quick run because we've got quite a few people on stream. So if you guys want me to do a bit of single player action, let me know, because Dragoon, I think this is it for Dragoon.
My last battle.
Actually, I'll go with the Street Fighter. And I might do a bit of single player action again quickly, so we've got quite a few people on the stream. And it should revert back to Cyber when we reset it. The way you can tell if it's worked is the opening text changes. Oh, that was quite a nice throw. Have I played Tengai 2? I have it, but I've only very briefly played it, so I haven't played that far into the remake on PS2. I haven't played the original version though. The one version of the Tengai Major series I absolutely love, and me and Dragoon both really enjoy it, and it will probably appear on a fight night at some point, is Kabaku Clash, which is actually our first introduction to the series, which is a Neo Geo arcade fighter, and it's fantastic, isn't it? Yeah,
I was hoping at some point it might come to the arcade archive, but so far it hasn't.
I think this game is probably best described as nice to see what the 32X could do with sprite scaling. Oh, it doesn't play that well.
You've got the full range of Gorby's arms off, legs dismembered into, or a decapitation. And I guess we'll end it there with that grim, violent, and your cat.
Yeah, Kabaku Clash is the only one to get released outside of in the West, but even then it was only an arcade game. Right, I will do a quick bit. So me and Dragoon will finish. I will reset it, and it should go into Cyber Brawl. It's just so you know, we're playing the US cartridge on a Japanese system, and it automatically goes to Cyber Brawl. It's actually a universal cartridge, I think, although I think the PAL version might be region locked, but the NTSC ones both will work on the other version. And basically, if you put it into an American console, it will go to Cosmic Carnage. If you put it into a Japanese one, it will go to Cyber Brawl. So thanks for all the likes, guys. If you are enjoying this stream, please do hit that like button. Very much appreciated it. We've got a few people on stream, so I will actually do you guys want to see some single player action? Yay or nay? I'm going to have to guess we've got a few people on stream, so I will actually... Interestingly, the Japanese version has a different text roll, but the text roll is still in English. Which is weird. You expect it to be in Japanese, but... playing the American cartridge in the Japanese 32X, so it instantly plays up its Japanese version. The 32X is a weird system with region locked. Some games are region locked, others aren't. Or they're only region locked for one region. I mean, it's not a bad game. I quite like it. I'm gonna... Ah, sorry, should I leave the difficult time on off? Let's see, time. I'm going to play as... I will play as the character, the only character that I can actually spam with. Okay, thanks for confirming, Scorpion. I think it's Scorpion, am I right? Are you? Is that a weird spelling of Scorpion, or is it Scorpion? I suspect the PAL version's region locked, as it's probably optimized. As most of the games, a large chunk of the Mega Drive games that have some form of optimization are actually region locked. I mean, not all games are region locked because they had optimization, but a large chunk of them are. I mean, I don't think it's terrible. I think it's certainly better than a lot of other games Sega put out. So titles like this was developed by the team that actually did Mazon Wars, which is actually quite a really good scrolling beat 'em up. Bless me. Ah, you're from Holland, are you? No, I shouldn't say Holland, the Netherlands. Yeah, in case you haven't guessed from our accents, we're from the UK, so... Or England to be more Pacific. It's nice to get some European friends here. Oh, hello again, Sherry. It's nice to see you back on stream. Thanks for joining. No more Dead for Daylight. We're actually looking at... We just finished the Fight Night side. I'll do a bit of a single player on the rather wacky Cosmic Carnage or Cyber Brawl, depending where you live in the world, on 32X, which I think, as I said, it's quite an interesting game in terms of how it looks. I think it's definitely... I mean, it doesn't play too bad. It's definitely better than games like Eternal Champions on the Sega Mega Drive, which is not a great game at all. Eternal Champions is one of those weird games I think got really hyped up on the Sega Mega Drive, and then, right, this is what I mean by you've got to be quick. And the other thing is the AI is incredibly defensive. Ah, is that going to take the round from me now? Time is over and he's just won as well. Oh really? Did I lose both rounds? Okay, let's try this again because I know I have a limited time, so I literally have to win every fight. You basically have such a limited time in this, depending how far... The game's ending purely is based, literally, the game's ending. It's purely based on how far you get. So basically, the ending, even where in the ending it'll be when the thing all blows up. So basically, the ending's a bit weird in that it basically has you trying to escape a ship that's about to explode, and now I should do the Gale arrow more if it works. Press and hold. But half the time I try to pull it out. There we go with the Gale arrow. Doesn't come out. Okay, there's his armour off this time. Right, that's going to do better. Gale arrow. Okay, let's go plan B. There we go, I think... Oh yeah. You have my kudos for beating this Scorpion because it is a very difficult game. It feels like there needed to be an additional final boss who isn't in it as well. We do have a couple of long plays on the channel. I can't remember how far I am through the channel, how far I was in both. I think one I might have done it and one I got blown up in. Depending where your timer depends like where it blows up. You can like even make the ship, and other times you can be on the ship and it's just sort of getting away. I actually need to be much quicker at finishing these guys off as well, because I think you literally don't have much spare time at all in this. I think quick attacks are much better than sort of range. Yeah, quick attacks definitely, but I've beaten it with Bolt before. I'm just waiting for Sherry to, she said with old fighting games like this and then hasn't replied yet. The collision, a lot of these games, the older fighting games on the 2D side, if they weren't, I think there was a real rush to make 2D fighting games after the success of Street Fighter, and a lot of them didn't quite get the gameplay quite right. Often the collision was wrong, often combo systems were wacky, often gameplay was too slow, often it was really imbalanced. Oh, her sort of rapid attacks are really strong. Yeah, it's getting the Gale Punch out. If I can get it out consistently, but the problem is it's actually... Yeah, Samurai Showdown's another one. We did cover Samurai Showdown last week, actually. We actually did a look at Samurai Showdown 4. That's definitely one where basically the light punch is your friend. Yes, got her with the Gale Punch right. Does a lot of damage when you do it right. It also does a lot of chip damage as well, so... I was cheap as hell. Oh yeah, like the SNK games, yeah, the SNK games, and Magneto from X-Men: Children of the Atom. This must be one of the most brutal 2D bosses ever. They're probably some of the worst 2D bosses in fighting games. Magneto's definitely one. The King of Fighters, some of them are absolutely brutal. The worstest one was King of Fighters actually 11. One of the recent ones. They just made a boss that was just ridiculously hard. Another one who was brutally hard is there's a game called Spectral vs Generations that's just absolutely unforgiving. Often with the SNK bosses, you ended up literally exploiting cheats to beat them, I found, so... Okay, I'm getting better. I think you can't hold the Gale, you can't actually charge it down for too long. You can overcharge the move. Okay, so there we go with Bolts or Talmic, pending which version you play. I don't know why they changed his name. He's Bolt in the Japanese version, he's Talmic in the US one. It doesn't make any sense. But yeah, Magneto, he's also one of the most watered down characters in gaming history when it came to making him playable. Magneto, crouch, punch, kick. Yeah, for Magneto I found you just had to go crazy on him in the corner. You could pin him with like uppercuts and stuff. And you just basically, if you didn't go all in to take him out and stop him doing stuff, you were a goner from the get-go. But yeah, Samurai... Strangely, the system in this with the time thing is similar to what Samurai Showdown 4 has as well, because if you saw Samurai Showdown 4 stream from last night, I didn't get the best ending because I didn't get to the hidden characters. I didn't get to the final boss because I took too long to rescue, basically get to the castle and rescue the girl. Oh, he's throwing me a lot, this character. Okay, let's try the fireballs a bit. Yeah, the AI is really, really defensive, which is that sort of bugbear I hate of these type of... where you get the AI that defends against absolutely anything, so there's nothing you can do to break them. He's going to jump every move I do, isn't he? Yeah, it's that classic type of old school AI. The music's actually quite good. I mean, overall, I think this is one of those 32X games that's probably quite good to watch. It looks like quite a competent beat 'em up. And it you know, it's not bad playing. I didn't mind it when I started getting into it. It's not something like Weapons Lords. Oh yeah, Golden Axe, yeah, Golden Axe is super cheap in Golden Axe the Duel. I think he's another boss though that a lot of the bosses that you'll find that are super cheap usually have an AI flaw. So there was strangely, I don't know what it is, but often fly kicks are one of the worst things the AI is susceptible to. What was it called? What was it again? Rabbit on Sega Saturn. The final boss is absolutely brutal. But I discovered a whiz where you can just constantly fly kick him and he does next to nothing to attack you. In fact, it's the only way I found you could actually hurt him was to fly kick him. Same with one of the King of Fighters. Just constantly fly kicking was basically like you either do one move to just destroy, basically if the AI is cheap you have no option but to cheat the AI or you get destroyed as well. So it's a case of be cheap or be destroyed. So he has got a Dragon Punch, but I don't know how good. Yeah, a lot of blocking in this. The AI just blocks everything. And the thing you have to watch is often this type of AI will counter every move you do as well. Okay, so the fireballs are quite good if you can do them off at close range because he can't react. Not every game. I played a few 2D beaters where literally every time you go airborne you will get knocked straight out of the air, but there are quite a few where you can get away with just fly kicking. And he's going to beat me. I need to get him. He's ducking my... This guy's below. I can't actually hit him with certain attack. Oh, he's got me with an uppercut. Okay, I'm not getting off this ship now. I'll try and see how far I can get before it blows up. This guy is basically, I think, I need to do the forward kick. Yeah, I don't think Dead by Daylight was that popular today, so I think I'll give Dead by Daylight a break. That was definitely... Swords return you by just fly kicking it. Nice. Yeah, see, as soon as you do that, if you do some of them, oh, he's just countering me. Okay, I've got to watch this. This is the issue a lot of these games would have. The AI was just brutal. Okay, I got him a counter there. Oh, I can't believe I screwed up that dizzy period. Yeah, okay, so the Dragon Punch, probably Dragon Punches with light kicks are going to be what he's weak to, this one. Because I can't use the Gale Wave, which I was using, which is the forward fly, because he is too short, so goes underneath it, which is just a little bit game breaking. You have that type of. Okay, might be able to counter him. He does seem to like to go for an uppercut as soon as if I'm standing above him, he will like to go for an uppercut. As I say, when I did this a while back on stream, I got rather good at this game. Much like how it was getting better at Rolling Thunder. I played that again. By the way, I'm interested to know if anyone's got a 32X here, because we're debating if the 32X slightly improves the video output. I know it can improve it composite-wise, but it looks like it boosts the colours, so I think we might do some research on that, because it's something emulators generally don't show that well, because they don't tend to use the 32X's colour palette, but it's definitely... That move does no movement forward, I think, that uppercut is lit. Oh! You ain't got a Megasis. No worries. Yeah, the 32X is an interesting beast. I think it's not particularly documented some of the things it does. It's definitely... The 32X is a really interesting piece of hardware. I want to take him out with a finisher. Well, admittedly, all you need to do to finish an opponent in this is just use a special mode. Yeah, I do like the way it sort of zooms in. But yeah, I'm definitely not getting off the ship tonight. This is blowing up. The Scorpion will testify. Yeah, I think I did quite well a finisher as well. He's got that whirl that's really good. Basically, these two are two of the best characters I found. That whirl kick just so dangerous. Again, the Gale Punch. Yeah, interestingly, Sega used some really bad capacitors on a lot of their hardware. 32X are notorious now for not starting, so you have to literally run them for a few days. You like run them for about 6-7 hours until they charge out of electricity, so they actually get the caps to work. But ideally, you should actually recap them now. I've noticed my Mega Drive, my Japanese Mega Drive, is now having sometimes they have an issue where if you move them, they can disconnect the power, and that's I've seen is an issue due to the fact the AC socket can come a bit loose, so needs resoldering. So that's something we're going to need to do on this unit. Yeah, the capacitors are really bad on a lot of Sega hardware. 32X, I mean, all old machines really need to be recapped at some point, so it's going to become standard policy to have to recap them. I've had to recap my Game Gear because the Game Gear caps were terrible, but I think my Super Nintendo I might need to recap to see if that will fix the issue we had on our Japanese one. I'm going on this fight. I'm definitely... Oh, I'm exploding in... But yeah, if you do have these old Sega machines, you're going to have to look at A, replacing the caps, or B, soldering a few bits in to fix some issues. Find a yeah, it's really hard to find a good sort of repair guy. Even I'm struggling to find a good repair service that just recaps stuff and just sort of proper hardware repairs. It would be really good if we could find someone. There's probably a market there for someone to do it full-time permanently, but you'd have to be quick and quite thing. You'd have to pay. I mean, I think it's not necessarily going to be cheap, but if I knew someone that could do it properly for a reasonable price, more than happy to. I mean, learning to solder is not too hard, but it's something with old hardware, and certainly with 32Xs. The first 32X we had was a nightmare, didn't work, so we had to get a second unit. We took that one back. On it, originally the first Atari Lynx we had didn't work either, so... Oh, just what counter! I think we should do a lot of point-blank fireballs, which is another thing with this type of games. Oh, come on. That Dragon Puncher, see, this is why he's lethal, because he's got such range on that slasher finisher. And he's got this one. I did that attack a lot as well. I'm pretty sure I did. Come on. Get that. Do the Gale Punch. Do the Gale. Let's try Fireball. No, you can jump that. Yeah, this is the thing. You will find the AI will do specific moves every time. So if I do a Fireball close, I can likely get some cheap damage or chip damage. If I do it at range, he's going to jump me and do that. And he'll do that every time. Yeah, that is the problem with the repairs, is finding someone who can do a really good job. The original PS2 we had, which was an NTSC unit, we discovered that was a horrendous mod job. They had modded a chip into a really obscure version of the PS2 that shouldn't have been modded, and it just burnt out the laser totally. But yeah, I'll definitely do some 32X action on the channel this weekend. I'm probably going to show off a bit of Doom as well, because I doubt there's many people who've actually captured the actual version of Doom on the 32X. Certainly not high quality either. Oh, yes. I didn't actually mean to do that. I was trying to do the fireball, but that's just as good. You did end up doing a better job of replacing the laser, yeah. It's quite... I think if you're a fan of old consoles now, I mean... Dragoon's done some soldering and stuff. He actually replaced the batteries in a couple of our cartridges and did a very good job. And we have done some mild repairs and cleans to like hardware such as the Saturn. The 360 we've had to fix the laser on a few times now because that goes out of alignment. Yeah, the charge moves are a bit hit and miss. That's the issue I have. Right, but this guy, his AI is quite bad for doing that fireball quite often. But his AI is not that strong. He's going to do come on, fireball, lad. Just gotta watch that flip kick. Come on, fireball. Yeah, there he goes. He does that flip kick as well a lot. Okay, I'm gonna win this in time, either. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna have a bad ending. That's for sure. If I get to the end. We did have so we've actually had 2 Saturns. The first one broken us many years, but so far the second power modded one's still going strong, and we've now got a Model 1 one as well. Although I am looking to grab an NTSC unit at some point, just to iron out the Hertz minor crystallization with some FMV games. And also that means we can check proper games in NTSC just in case there are any different. Finish off a chip fireball there. So yeah, the ending will be I didn't make it out on time. The spaceship blew up before I escaped. In case ending one wants to some advance ahead of time. Well, I hope you're ready to literally cut apart that chip. I know I've seen a video where the guy literally sanded the top out of the... cut off the top of one of the chips to remove the battery inside it on the Philips CD5. So good luck with that. I mean, that's going to be a difficult repair. You've got to get it right, otherwise you can destroy the chip as well. But I've seen people do the repair, so I hope it all goes well. So Wishbone, as you can see here, I'm literally doing the ground Hadouken. That seems to be his one vulnerability. He's... oh, I've just got to avoid his grab range. Because if I try and jump him, he will do that swirl attack and absolutely punish me. And he'll do that every time, I guarantee it. So he's one of those characters that's got to stay sort of... don't want to get in combat range, but just want to keep out of... Okay, this might be the final fight. I don't think we're going to have a happy ending. I think this ship's going to blow up, but don't know if Scorpion's still on the stream, but Might be interesting to see where we end up. It's only proved a bit more popular than the Dead by Daylight stream today, which was next to no one. I think I might go back to Bomb Man, so... Dead by Daylight is basically a interesting version of hide and seek, for want of a better word. It's one of those weird games. I'm surprised it's gone on for as much as it has done, because there's really not much content. Basically, one of you has to find the 4 survivors and hang them on. It's a bit weird. And then the 4 survivors have to open 5 power gates and escape, and that's it. And it's like, okay, what do you do the next round? No, that's the same thing you do every time. The only difference is you get different characters. It's like, and the survivors are all the same, and the killers have slightly different abilities. It's not that impressive, should we say. She's absolutely destroyed me that time. Fortunately it's the weekend, but yeah, there will be some 32X Doom on the channel tomorrow. Yeah, I must admit, I generally avoid games based on horror titles. I mean, other than the Splatterhouse, which are quite sort of tongue-in-cheek. And Resident Evil, of course, but even Resident Evil is now the new one. The weird hillbilly thing in the 7th game. God, she's absolutely demolishing me. I remember a couple of them were real tricky in this. Come on! She's literally... So if I go airborne, she's probably going to punish me with that. Yeah, she's got quite a nasty range of moves. And the problem is that the AI can pull off the moves far easier than you can. So as always guys, thanks for joining the stream, I should say, for those of you coming in. As always, if you do like the stream, please do hit that like button, very much appreciated. And of course, if you're new to Randomised Gaming, which I expect many of you probably aren't, but if you are new, then please do consider subscribing if you like our channel's content by all means. There will be more gameplay stuff. I'll probably try and get some more gameplay videos up this next few weeks now that I've got the Hertz thing out on the channel, and there's a Saturn video I've been meaning to do for the past 2 years that I need to get done, so I should probably sit down and actually do that. But I'll definitely do some gameplay stuff next week, and I want to get a Sonic R long play out as well, so and I might even look at doing Rolling Thunder 2 as well, because that was quite good fun, and I'm seeing as I've begun learning the ropes on how to play it again. And that was a very popular stream, I noticed. It's a pity we don't have Rolling Thunder 3, but that can't be helped. But yeah, Rolling Thunder 3 is definitely on my pickouts list if and when one turns up in the UK, because it's a very obscure title, seeing as a North American exclusive. A lot of the North American stuff's getting really tricky to get hold of as well. It's North American only. There's a lot more Japanese importers than there is North American stuff. So. Oh, come on, she just countered me before I even did anything. Feels like the only way to win this fight is just whack light punch. Or light kick. Come on. Yeah, she's really punishing me with the chip damage. Even the fireball, she's doing that charge. That charge has such priority, it's ridiculous. Yeah, I should probably use the wall a bit more because that... Oh, if it comes out, come on. There's definitely an issue with the inputs not recognising the angles in this. So... see if the Gale wall will work. Yeah, she's just doing so much chip damage. That charge is insane. And the thing is, the recovery on it should be longer than what it is. Okay, this is the type of AI I hate, because basically, not only is this version of her overpowered with that charge, but it's responding to everything I do before I have a time to react. Something a human player wouldn't be able to do because they have to see the frames. Whereas she is literally so... And that charge is doing lots of chip damage, so... Literally, it's just burst. All I can do is probably wait till she does it and just maybe get away hitting light kick. Can I just do that? Retaliate? Wait for the connect. Well, we have to do that kick because the light kick, she doesn't... more chip damage with that charge. Okay, literally this is what it's come down to, me kicking her in the chest. Waiting for the timeout to occur. Okay, so once... Yeah, so literally the AI will just do that charge, so until I've destroyed her chest armor, she's just gonna... Okay, and then once I've destroyed her chest armor, I can actually fight back. I wonder if... I have a suspicion you can't press another move in between doing the charging. So yeah, I think that's it. You have to do the charge move on its own with nothing else. Well, I think that's it, unless I've got to fight myself. Sometimes you fight yourself in these games, sometimes you don't. No, 7 seconds, right, kaboom, boom. We're not going to get out. We're not going to get out. We are space dust. Yes, this game, it brutally trolls the player. You basically have to finish it in incredibly fast time. I think one of the videos I did on the long play channel, one is the blowing up ship thing, and I think one we actually did it, but you've really got to hammer home the AI. So that was Cyberball / Cosmic Carnage. And that's nicely wrapped up on the 2 hours of the stream. So I'm going to wrap this up here, everyone. I hope you've enjoyed this stream. It's an interesting game. I mean, it's not too bad as a fighter. It's certainly better than quite a lot of other ones on the Mega Drive, but it's certainly not the best one. I certainly wouldn't recommend it over Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat, but I mean, once you've got more, although admittedly it's probably the third worst fighting game on 32X. There's only 4 fighting games on 32X. You have Mortal Kombat 2, you have Virtua Fighters, you have this, and you have Primal Rage. And probably Mortal Kombat 2. Virtua Fighters is the best. Mortal Kombat 2 would be second, and this would be third, with Primal Rage last. Have a good night, Sherry. Glad you're still here. Thanks for enjoying the stream. Glad you've enjoyed it. Certainly a tricky one. I'll be back doing more Mega Drive games this week, but there will be some Mega Drive stuff on the stream. So videos to come out, I will definitely be doing a look at the 32X version of Doom over the weekend. I will probably be doing a bit on Mortal Kombat. I do need to get the 4th part of our long play out on Knights of Valor, which should come in the near. I'll try and get it sorted out this weekend, actually, if I can do. Yeah, this is definitely a game that's visuals over substance. You've only got 8 characters. There's no boss character, which is disappointing. The ending is literally, you basically have to beat the game on 1 credit, and you can't get any time overs, and even then you go. And the AI is rather aggravating to fight, although as you saw in that last fight, you could exploit a few things to be able to beat it quicker. But that, ladies and gentlemen, is this Fright Night. It's actually been the 26th fight. I think it's the 26th, or was it the 27th? Oh, I think I didn't update the name. I think it should be the 27th. Just to check that, I think I need to update the name quickly. Yes, I do need to update. It's the 27th Fight Night, so let me edit that. Fight Night 27, yes, it's been 27 weeks. I think we've only had 1 break since we started them. I'm glad you've all enjoyed it. It is, I said it, as you said, Nico, it's definitely style over substance in that it's got some really great 2D sprite effects. There's some really nice ideas, but the slowdown and the other problems, it's definitely a game where it feels like they tried to make a game but didn't quite finish it. It does look a bit rushed. I mean, it says 24 megs, but for only 8 characters in it, you kind of expect 10. There's no boss. It does feel a little rushed, whether it was rushed because I think just about everything on the 32X was rushed out because A, they had no games when they released it, and B, no one bought it, so they had tried to get games out quickly to see if people would, and no one still did. It's a shame. It's an interesting piece of hardware that got a really bad rap, but when you actually have one, it's got some nice advantages. For PAL Mega Drives, it works great as a bypass for Japanese cartridges, because of course Japanese cartridges by default don't fit in PAL Mega Drives, but with the 32X they do, so that's great. And it does improve the video quality. If you've got composite, it slightly improves the video quality. I'm not sure. I think it's got a slightly different colour palette as well, so I think it does slightly alter the colours of some games, and I need to research that a little bit more. There's some suggestion it might slightly improve the audio as well, although the downside is the connectors. If the connectors between the 32X and the Mega Drive you get in, if they start to degrade, they can add in an audio hiss. We've got a slight hiss in the background on this that I had to tweak a bit to try and reduce, and after some positioning and cleaning, it reduces it down a bit, but you can still hear if I had it on the volume loud enough, you would probably hear on the quiet where there's no music, you'd hear a slight background hiss. But okay, everyone, that's it from me as we've hit the 2-hour mark. Thank you all for joining me in the stream. If you have suggestions for Mega Drive games you'd like us to cover next week, by all means, please do let me know. And as always, if you do enjoy this video, please do smash that like button, very much appreciated. And again, if you're new to the channel, please do subscribe to us if you haven't already. That's it. I'll be back next week. I'll be doing more Mega Drive games next week, so if you've got any suggestions for Mega Drives, please do leave a comment below on this video or on the community page. Thank you all very much. I hope you have a good weekend. So I will say, I wish you a good night, a good evening, a good afternoon, or a good morning, wherever you are in the world. I have been Random Gamer Riven on behalf of Randomised Gaming, and with me my co-host tonight has been Random Gamer Dragoon on this Friday night fight night. So I wish you all a good weekend, everyone, and I will see you all next week. And I said we'll be doing more Mega Drive stuff, and maybe we can do a few 32X games as well. Is continuation of Shining an option? You mean looking at Shining Force or Shining Force 2? Yes, we could look at the original Shining Force game or Shining Force 2 if you want. certainly probably better doing the original, seeing as that's a prequel to Shining in the Darkness. So I mean, we could do. I won't do both of them, but because they're different, because Shining Force is very different to the Shining in the Darkness, I could do one of them. Could do one of the Fancy Stars as well in terms of RPGs. Could do, there's an action RPG called Legend of Soleo if you're interested in the RPGs. I could do, there's a really great Japanese only RPG called, what is it? That's it, there's a Japanese action RPG called King Colossus. And there is Story of Four, so... Okay, I might do one of the Fancy Stars over Shining Force, as we've already covered Shining in the Darkness last week, so I'd happily do one of the Fancy Stars. I think 4 might be optimised, so I think we'd have to do 2 or 3. I think 2 would be the better option actually, although that will be another dungeon grind punching RPG as well, just to warn you. Or I could do tactical stuff with Shining Force. Shining Force Tactical does... The Mega Drive doesn't have a huge number of RPGs. But yeah, I might nip one of the Fancy Stars in. Okay, well, I'm going to finish here, so thanks very much. And if you've got any more comments or suggestions, just leave something in the community page or on or on this latest video, and I will get back to you. In fact, I might put something on the community page saying if you want suggestions for next week's streams, please do let me know. Yeah, Sega did indeed have a thing for dungeons crawlers, certainly. But thanks to my commentators. I'm going to say this correctly, at least I hope one, to Naiko, Sherry, if you want to be called earlier, and Scorpion. Thanks very much, guys. Great to have you on stream. That's it from me, everyone. So have a good weekend and have a good night.